So the first one.
Yeah.
Interest rate. Yes. Interest rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second one, exchange rate is exchange maybe is price at which one currency can buy another.
Of course, yes. Price at which one currency can buy another. It means exchange rate, so we can exchange. Yes, very good. And inflation rate?
Inflation rate is inflation rate. I think is total value of goods and service.
Total, no, it's not. It's general increase in prices. So
Yeah.
general increase in prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the next one.
Labor force is percentage of people without job. No.
Well,
Labor force is
labor force.
Official rule, regulation, paperwork.
Labor force means people working. So labor, workers, force, power, people working, labor force.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Industry, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Like resources.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay, people working. Yeah, I see it here. Tax incentive. Tax incentive. Law. Tax incentives. Incentive.
Incentive means encourage. Incentive means encourage.
I know incentive, but I try to think about or maybe the low tax to encourage business activity.
Of course, you're right. So low taxes to encourage businesses activity. Yeah, very good.
Government. I don't know this word. Well, government.
You don't know this word, bureaucracy, government bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, of course. Actually, it's something like, if I want to give you a good synonym, it can be the synonym of government. So first of all, it can be the synonym of administration or government. Okay, so the authorities. But here, when we say government bureaucracy, it means, look, official rules. Official rules or regulations. But this word, bureaucracy, can be the synonym for government or administration.
Oh, administration.
For example, another synonym that is really good one, civil service. Another synonym, you may find it in this meaning.
Mm,
Okay. And
yeah.
yeah, the next one, gross domestic product.
Gross domestic products is GDP is about uh, it's about um, total value of good and service.
Of
Uh,
course, total value of goods and services produced in the country. And unemployment rate.
uh, is about percentage that of people without job.
Of course. And foreign investments.
Foreign investment is uh, money from overseas.
Yeah, of course. And the last one, of course, balance of trade.
Different in value
Of
between
course. It
countries import.
imports and exports. Okay, well. And tell me about import and export in your country. So what do you import? What do you export? So what goods and products are normally exported and imported from your country?
In my country,
Yeah, of course.
what product, right?
Yeah, for example, something that you normally actually import to export to other countries or import from other countries.
Uh, the Vietnam is the second largest export coffee.
First,
Uh,
coffee.
Coffee. Wizards behind wizards. I mean, the first is Brazil and the second is Vietnam. So you know, it's very large market
Yeah, of
import.
course. Of
Uh,
course, of course.
and
And yeah,
chicken.
I'm sorry,
Chicken.
I interrupted you.
Okay.
No, you keep going. It's okay. Just I wanted to ask another question, but you keep going. After that, I will ask another question.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
the other product is durian. Mm, durian. Yeah.
So, yeah. So you import or export?
Export.
Yeah, you export. Okay. And so tell me about something that you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You
Oh, oh,
stop.
oh, I was talking to myself. I'm sorry. I was talking. So of course, so I said that so of course, so you a kind of fruit and of course coffee. And tell me about something that you import, you normally import, a product or good, something like you import from other countries, and which country?
Mm, we import many products and material from other countries.
Raw
Mm,
materials? You mean raw materials?
yeah,
Yeah,
many.
of
Yeah,
of course.
we import car. We import um, um, uh, how to say import electric. uh,
Yeah, electricity. Of course, electricity. Yeah.
uh, um, fabric materials,
Of course, fabric materials. Got it.
clothes, many, yeah.
Yeah. And tell me which country, so which country do you export in normally for, and which country don't you, for example, import from?
Uh, we import from China, US, India,
Of
I
course,
think,
India. Yeah, of course. China
China,
exports.
oh,
Yeah,
and
of
Korea.
course, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
China, I think, can be
yeah,
considered as maybe the largest market in the world nowadays because they produce everything.
yeah,
And I think, yeah, it's very large and something like inconsiderable
mm,
market. So I think they're really actually in a way in progress. So yeah. Well, okay. Let's keep going. So we have actually some expressions here and we know the meaning of them. So for example, if you want to talk about, for example, which one can be price at which one currency can buy another, you say exchange rate. So we use, of course, you can use the definitions. So no matter if you want, but they are some specific actually expressions, business expressions that you need to know in order to make a conversation or keep a conversation going about business and, of course, investment. Well, and now let's try to complete this economic profile without looking back at the terms. Okay, so let's, of course, it's hard to do it without looking back, but if you can, that will look great.
mm, yeah. The economy is stable following the problem of the past 2 years. By following a tight monetary policy, the government has reduced the inflation rate.
Yeah. Inflation, just this is inflation.
Yeah, inflation. Um, 2% after going up dramatically. So um, interest rate is now down to
Very
uh,
good.
8%.
Very good.
Last 6 months has seen a slight improvement in the exchange rate
Yeah, exchange
uh,
rate, very good.
against the dollars. The GDP has grown by 0.15%.
Good.
Exports are increasing and the balance of trade
Very good. Balance of trade.
is starting to look much healthier.
Of course.
The unemployment rate continue to be a problem as it is still 16%. In order to stimulate the economy and attract uh, attract foreign investment.
Of course.
Mm, the government is offering new tax incentive as well as making a renewed effort uh, uh, to reduce government uh,
To reduce.
bureaucracy.
Again, please, I couldn't hear you.
Government bureaucracy.
Okay, yeah, of course. Bureaucracy, yeah, of course. Government's
Bureaucracy.
bureaucracy, of course.
Finally, a large scale labor force means there
That's
could be attractive investment opportunities over the next 5 years.
that's great. Very good. Just here we have this one. Tight monetary policy. Monetary means financial. So
Uh,
another word for financial, monetary.
Okay.
Okay. And the only word that I could find here, and the other word actually, okay, just this. Okay. Well, and now we know the answers, and the answers were actually correct. So let's keep going with the listening section, maybe the most important part of this actually unit. Let's listen to this audio and okay, let's find and figure out the main issues facing new businesses. Okay, so let me play this audio and just give me a moment. Okay. 11:2. Just let me check. Let me check.
Recording 11.2.
What are some of the problems facing new businesses in your experience?
I think some of the problems facing new businesses are really to do with management skills. Often a new business is formed out of somebody who has a really good idea, has a really good hobby, has a really good knowledge of a certain thing, such as anything from biology to carpentry, and they form a business out of that core knowledge. The problem is they don't have enough business knowledge to go around that, so enough knowledge of finance and bookkeeping, of marketing, human issues, HR issues for want of a better word, or of the fact that these need to be in a small business integrated. So it really is a lack of business and management skills that I find is the real main problem with 90% of the new businesses that I work with.
Well, so could you hear anything?
I hear many things, but because the question is the main problems.
Yeah. So actually, he says something about not enough knowledge or finance, and
Issue management
yeah,
skill.
of course, human resource issues. But let's not back to listen again, because we want to find actually something more important than this.
Recording 11.2.
What are some of the problems facing new businesses in your experience?
I think some of the problems facing new businesses are really to do with management skills. Often a new business is formed out of somebody who has a really good idea, has a really good hobby, has a really good knowledge of a certain thing, such as anything from biology to carpentry, and they form a business out of that core knowledge. The problem is they don't have enough business knowledge to go around that, so enough knowledge of finance and bookkeeping, of marketing, of human issues, HR issues for want of a better word, or of the fact that these need to be in a small business integrated. So it really is a lack of business and management skills that I find is the real main problem with 90% of the new businesses that I work with.
Well, first and the most important thing that he said,
Yeah, in the last sentences. But
the beginning he said about, and then he gave some details. So the beginning of his
it's
speech about management skills. So lack of maybe someone has a really good idea, but they can't manage. So lack of business and
not.
management skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for example, so he gave some examples, not enough knowledge of finance and bookkeeping. Okay, so do you have any idea about the meaning of this phrase, bookkeeping?
Yeah.
Of course, the process of recording, just I want to say that this is a process of recording a company's financial transactions into actually organized accounts. So it means bookkeeping. So we know for example, and we record everything, financial transactions, money transfer to actually into organized account. So on a daily, of course, basis every day. So which means bookkeeping. So as he mentioned, a lack of business and management skills. For example, not enough knowledge of finance and bookkeeping, or for example marketing, and of course human resource issues, so something that he mentioned.
Yeah.
And now we're going to listen to the second part and decide which of the following was the interviewer's questions. Okay, so let me play the next one.
Recording 11.3.
I think this is a very big problem, particularly in the UK. There are so many different agencies that say they help small businesses to get advice. It's very patchy in some areas of the UK. They're very good. In other areas, they're very poor. And it's difficult for a lot of people starting a business or small businesses who have been in operation for a while to access them. So lawyers help small businesses, accountants help small businesses, banks say they help small businesses. Increasingly, universities help small businesses. And then you have a myriad of independent consultants who want to sell their services to small businesses. So there is a lot of help out there. The trouble is it's a very fragmented and complicated picture. And we often find that people running small businesses are so confused they don't bother. And that's a problem because they need to bother.
Well, so which question? 1, 2, or 3, or 4? Which one can be the interviewer's question so that this person answered it?
3.
Of course. How can new businesses get help to grow and become successful? Yeah, of course. And well, really, if you want to answer this question, how can new businesses get help to grow and become successful? How? Maybe who can, what organization, what corporation can help them to actually become successful, we think? People, government, other successful businesses. So how?
Yeah, it's really, it's,
Let me change my question, maybe make it a bit simpler. Okay, so I want to know and I want to ask you if you think it's better when, I don't know, a new business established, okay, it's better to get help from other businesses, from, I don't know, people or government, or no, you think it's better to have an independent way, okay, in order to maybe reach your goal. So you can experience everything, but you don't need to get help from other organization in order to boost and actually make your business successful. So what do you think? Being independent or dependent?
of course, um, I think every new business needs to get help from others, business or people or government, because like we run business in social, in economic market, and we always need to get help to grow and become successful. But we still need independent ways Like we have our own our idea.
Yeah.
We have opinion. I mean, stable,
Yeah.
uh, and we have we need um, determination and
Determination, of course. So you
uh,
think getting help getting help is good, but not to be affected by other businesses. So you,
yeah,
as I really,
I,
yeah,
yes, I
not
mean
to
that.
be affected. Yeah, of course. But of course, it's good to use experience, not to be affected. So because you have your own idea, your own method. So yeah, got it. Well, and now the third part of the interview, decide whether the statements are true or false.
Mm.
Okay, let's see what Roger says.
Recording 11.4.
Can you give us an example of a successful new business and why you think it succeeded?
We work with a company called MEPC, which owns business parks. They own a very big business park near here, down the A34, called Milton Park. And the MD of that park came to me, and the big businesses on the park was downsizing. And that they had some very bright young electrical engineers who were thinking of going to Wales, where there is money available for the development of new businesses through the Welsh Development Agency. And he thought he didn't want to lose them. He thought that they could build a business on the park and therefore retain the business and grow a business which would be good for the park. He asked me to talk to them. They had a very good product. They had a product which allowed for engines to be converted to using vegetable oil. So we helped them to develop their business planning. To some extent, they were in the right place at the right time. They had the right product from an environmental perspective. They had the right product from the point of view of oil prices going up. But what they didn't have was any business skill. And so we spent 2 years with them building their business skills, looking at their marketing, their sales, their financials, their structure issues of how they would build a company. And that was hugely important. So whilst they were in the right place at the right time, whilst they did have the right technology product, they recognized that they didn't have business skills. And that recognition, I am sure, allowed them to grow properly. This year, they will turn over between £750,000 and £1 million, which is very good in 2 years. And they are now forward planning their business on a proper business footing. So I think the reason that they have succeeded is they recognise what they didn't know and have built upon it, which is the need for good business skills.
Well, the first one, the managing director was confident that the electrical engineers would be able to build and grow a business.
It's
True.
full.
False?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this. I think it was true. The second one, okay, let's check. We will listen again, so just let's check together. Number two, the engineers needed help in order to develop the product.
Two.
I think this one is false.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, okay.
uh, of course, maybe four because this mentioned about their product, not about their management business skill.
Yeah, of course. So let's check to the end, and then we will listen again because I think the first one was true, the second one false. The product they developed was problematic from an environmental point of view.
Mm,
No, environmental was problematic.
uh, yeah, I think two.
Oh, we have different opinions about this.
Oh,
Okay, so because I think it's
yeah,
okay. And it took 2 years to develop their business skills.
two.
So, of course, true. their turnover this year will be over £1 million.
True.
Ah, really? I heard something else. False. And
Yeah, I heard that's about over £1 million.
okay,
Sure.
yeah, they
So
were able, yeah.
because he mentioned about 2 years, and I don't know this year or 2 years.
Okay, it's okay.
Just guess.
Yeah, it's okay. It's normal. So we need to listen again. They were able to grow properly because they had recognized their weaknesses.
Yeah, I think true.
Yeah, of course, I do agree with you. This one is true, but let's listen again to check the
Yeah.
answers because I think they need correction.
Recording 11.4.
Can you give us an example of a successful new business and why you think it succeeded?
We work with a company called MEPC, which owns business parks. They own a very big business park near here, down the A34, called Milton Park. And the MD of that park came to me, and the big businesses on the park was downsizing, and that they had some very bright young electrical engineers who were thinking of going to Wales, where there is money available for the development of new businesses through the Welsh Development Agency.
So MD was proud of actually their electrical engineers that they can actually help to develop new business. So of course it's true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he thought he didn't want to lose them. He thought that
Yeah.
they could build a business on the park and therefore retain the business and grow a business which would be good for the park. He asked me to talk to them. They had a very good product. They had a product which allowed for engines to be converted to using vegetable oil. So we helped them to develop their business planning. To some extent, they were in the right place at the right time. They had the right product from an environmental perspective.
So we helped them, but the engineers needed help. No, we didn't have something about this. Of course, we helped them to develop the products, but the engineer didn't need it. So it's
They had a right
false.
product from the point of view of oil prices going up. But what they didn't have was any business skill. And so we spent 2 years with them building their business skills, looking at
So number 3, could you find it the product they developed was problematic from an environmental point of view? Environmental or something else? You heard something else. Listen.
from an environmental perspective. They had a right. We helped them to develop their business planning. To some extent, they were in the right place at the right time. They had the right product from an environmental perspective. They had a right product from the point of view of oil prices going up.
So they were in right perspective from an environmental point of view, not problematic. So actually they had the right product, not problematic. So this word actually making our statement false. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and
But what they didn't have was any business skill. And so we spent 2 years with them building their
so of course 2 years.
business skills, looking at their marketing, their sales, their financials, their structure issues of how they would build a company.
So 4 is right. It took 2 years to develop their business skills.
And
Yeah.
that was hugely important. So whilst they were in the right place at the right time, whilst they did have the right technology product, they recognized that they didn't have business skills. And that recognition, I am sure, allowed them to grow properly. This year, they will turn over between £750,000 and £1 million, which is very good in 2 years. And they are now forward.
3/4 and £1 million. So
Yeah. Not
false.
here.
Of course.
Planning their business on a proper business footing. So I think the reason that they have succeeded is they recognise what they didn't know and have built upon it, which is the need for good business skills.
So the last one.
True.
Yeah, true. They were able to grow properly because they had recognized their weakness. Okay. Well, about true and false statement, that's really important. Of course, we told this to our IELTS students and candidates. It's really important to paraphrase the questions because normally you don't hear exactly the same thing as your questions. So when
Yeah.
you read something here, of course, you shouldn't, look for what to hear exactly the same words, something like synonym or definition, something that states actually the definition of the phrase that you can see in your question. So it's really important because most of the students, of course, they think that, okay, so I have confidence here, so I need to hear. If I don't hear this word, okay, it makes my, no, we won't, especially as I told you for IELTS and a specific subject like, for example, business. It's something like they are using different expressions in order to state their opinion, but we need to something like paraphrase them and, something like make the synonym, use a synonym in order to find our answers. Well, okay, and now let's discuss this question. So, okay, the human touch. Okay, may I ask you to read number one, please, and then we will talk about it.
The human thought. There are four key ingredients when starting a new business: an innovation, a good team, the right market opportunity, and the right financing strategy. In what ways are they important? The phrase may help you.
Of course, do you agree with this? The first one, innovation, creativity, a good
Yeah.
team, right market opportunity, and right financing strategy. So, which one is more important, you think?
Mm, I think innovation, because it's
Yeah,
the start of as of
I
the
know. Yeah, I know what you mean. You want to say that being creative is really important because it makes you different from the other competitors in the market. So you have something new to say, you have something new to show. So being creative or innovative is really important. Of course, I do agree with you.
yeah.
And okay, so
And because
yeah,
sometimes uh, a good team, it means sometimes we can invite or can offer and can cooperate with very talent people. They
yeah,
interested in our innovation, and they come to us and they willing to share share knowledge and skill.
of
So
course.
I think a good team sometimes they become from they are interested in our business, and
Yeah,
as right financing strategy. mm, Sometimes we can receive uh, investment from investor if
yeah,
they are very interested in with our innovation.
of course. So you mean you need to have a strategy. So you need to know what you're going to do. If you
Mm.
want to, as you said, for example, attract investment, or no, you actually need to make your profit and, for example, actually solve your financial issues independently. So you need to know your method. For example, this is our strategy. We have
Yeah.
some investor, we're going to get some investors from different, for example, countries or all around the world.
Mm.
And so that's really important to have the right financing strategy. Well, so we're going to talk about part B, but just tell me, if you want to complete this one, a good team needs the ability to what? That's really important. Just answer this one.
A good team needs the ability to teamwork.
Oh, because they are teams, so of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. But the most important, why we produce a product to sell it. So a good team needs the ability to sell. If they can't, of course, it's better not to be and not to work as a team. So this one is really important ability. The first thing that you need to pay attention is to sell, to sell your product. So the way, so a good team, okay, need the ability to sell. Well, let's skip this part because we have no more time to talk about it. But next session, we will talk about some actually maybe factors or some, I think, other alternatives that a good team needs to have. And then you will express your opinion to me, but here let's skip this one because it's actually, we need to talk about it in details. Well, okay. Any questions, any issues related to this part?
Yeah, because I try to think about part B, go through the article. It
Oh,
mean the B in economic term, right?
yeah, B is economic term. So of course, so you're
Uh,
thinking about this one. Okay,
yeah,
of course, we need to go through the article quickly to find four elements. So of course, because we haven't studied and we haven't read the article, so we can say yes or no. So we need to read it. First of all, we need to read it and then we will decide. Now
yeah,
we can guess, of course, now we can guess. And after that, of course, we need to skim the article in order to find the answers.
yeah. Because I just confused with a good team needs the ability to sell.
Yeah. No,
But
no, no, don't get confused because you will find it. You will find it in the article. That was
yeah,
something that I gave you in order to think about it. Next
yeah,
session we will read and you can find it.
yeah.
Sorry to
Right.
make confused.
Okay, yeah, that's because like you want me to guess about the
Yeah,
yeah
guess. Of course, I want you to make a guess. And
yeah
after that, yeah, for example, what is really important for a team? And you said teamwork. Of course, teamwork is really important, but why? Because we
yeah
want to sell something, we want to do something together. But next
yeah
session, we need to read the article in order to find the answers.
okay that,
Okay, my dear Diep, and that was really good time with you again. And have a great weekend, brilliant day. Enjoy your
yeah.
day.
Thank you so much
You're
and
welcome.
have a good
Goodbye.
weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you. Goodbye. Goodbye.